Alright you guys, okay, welcome to the interior of the Cybertruck. As you can see, it's super simple in here, very minimalistic, no column shifters, nothing here. And you have the drive-by-wire system, which is really, I'm gonna be honest, probably my favorite part of the vehicle is like this is the full, you could hear the tires underneath me. That's the full range of motion for the steering wheel. And this truck, because it has the drive-by-wire system, can do U-turns like it's nothing. But you have your screen here. The way that you put it into gear is you have your foot on the brake, and you just slide forward with the little car here, telling it, and it'll tell you here it's ready to go forward. It's in gear to go forward. So I have it in one pedal mode. So if I let off the brake, it's not going to do anything until I hit the accelerator, which one pedal driving takes a little bit to get used to, but it's actually pretty cool. I've definitely enjoyed that. You don't ever have to use the brake if you can just time your regenerative braking. Basically, you let off the accelerator. If I let off, it just slows down. Really easy. Really easy. So let's go over here and start the drive. The way that you turn signal are the buttons on the steering wheel here, the right and left arrows. So I'm going left. And you can see that when I go left, it shows me my left-hand blind spot camera if I was getting close to a curb or something like that. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it's pretty much silent aside from the electrical or the electric motors whirring. And with it being electric, power delivery is obviously going to be a lot of fun. So if I slow down, right, I can literally just punch it. And I mean, 0 to 60 in this thing is 4 seconds. So it's quick. And it's fun to drive. Now, the Cybertruck comes in right now there are only 2 trims. There are eventually going to be 3. The base one, or the lowest one, which hasn't come out yet, is the rear wheel drive only one. It's going to be the cheapest one. You're going to have your middle trim, which is going to be dual motor, all-wheel drive. And that one is what this is. And that's running about, after taxes and registration, you're probably looking at about 75 to 80K. And then the top trim is the Cyber Beast. That runs at $100,000. And I have had the pleasure of driving a Cyber Beast, and I can confirm the difference in performance is pretty substantial. This is 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds. The Cyber Beast was about 2.5, and that doesn't sound like a ton, but it's a lot. It's quite a difference. So, but yeah, I mean, you're driving. It's very simple. One of the features of the vehicle is the full self-driving, automated driving. I have tried that. When you enter a location in the navigation system, it will basically drive there for you, which is crazy to me. I have been able to hit a supercharger with this, and it's about 18%, and it took about 30 minutes for it to get to 80%. So, as you can probably tell, I'm still getting used to that person just got pulled over. I don't know what they did. I think they ran the red light. But yeah, guys, I mean, very quiet. You have different modes you can put the vehicle in. So in your dynamics tab here, your drive mode, I can go into comfort. And that really kind of settles the suspension a little bit more. You have sport, you have custom that you can make your own mode with, and then you have off-road, which you have to be in park. And off-road basically elevates, lifts the vehicle up, allows you to go over rougher terrain, keeps your speed limited to, I believe, around 7 miles per hour. It's literally just for creeping over rough terrain. So pretty interesting stuff. It's just crazy that you can just very instant response on the accelerator. Do I prefer some delay with some forced induction and an internal combustion engine? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's more fun and more spirited. But the pure speed and performance you get out of electric cars, it's pretty cool. And I get the appeal for sure. Me personally, would I buy this truck? If I had a bunch of money and I wanted to buy something that was easy for day-to-day driving, you know, to and from work, and, you know, there'd be one thing that would keep me from buying this truck. And I'll give you one guess as to what it is. It's the exterior appearance. This truck is and it, you know, opinions vary, and I give it credit for being creative. I give it credit for being different. But I really think that Tesla would have benefited from making something a little bit more appealing to a mass audience, especially in a truck form factor. I was kind of hoping they would bring in like a Model Y looking front end with a full-size bed and everything. I think you could have done that and it would have looked a lot better. Now, be that as it may, this gets attention, negative and positive. I've had a lot of people flip me off. I've had a lot of people, you know, give me thumbs up. It's been an interesting experience. Be that as it may, though, like I said, I get it. I understand why people who aren't die-hard car enthusiasts would start moving into this sector of vehicle, the electric vehicle. I'm hoping that I'll be able to review a Rivian R1T here soon, because I would love to compare the experience. Because from what I've heard, the interior of a Rivian gives you a little bit more of an actual car experience, whereas this, I'll just be honest, this is like you're sitting in a smartphone, and that smartphone can go 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. And I'm a tech guy. I work, you know, literally, I work in IT. And so tech is not a bad thing to me. But for a lot of people who I've been able to show this to, they go, I just couldn't do it. It's just too much. And while I personally think that anybody could get in this car, and once they know how to learn, you know, once they learn how to drive it, I think anybody can drive this car, you know, regardless of technological knowledge. I get it. It's very, very new. It's very different. And electric vehicles aren't new, right, to the market, but to the average consumer, everyone who I've brought into this car, into this truck, have never been in a Tesla before. They've never been in an electric vehicle before. So that's what I'll say. I think anybody could drive this vehicle given the amount, you know, the right amount of time and knowledge. But it's still not for everybody. And like I said, if this truck didn't look the way it did, and I literally just reached for a turn signal right there. And I had, you know, I already had my dream car, and I already had a truck that I know could tow without losing a bunch of range. Then maybe I would get something that looked like that performed and drove like this. But I would never get this strictly because of how it looks. I think it looks bad without being too critical. Be that as it may, I get the appeal. I understand. So guys, this is what it feels like on the highway. A little bit of road noise. I mean, it's an electric vehicle, so there's no engine running, so you definitely hear the road a lot more than you would in other vehicles, in my opinion. And I know that in the Model X and the Model S, it's a lot less. They've worked on the dampening a little bit more. This isn't terrible by any means. It's just not quiet. You can tell I have to kind of raise my voice to talk. It's a nice M340i. Yeah, this is what the Cybertruck feels like. And the only difference between this and the Cyberbeast is strictly speed. This can do everything that the Cyberbeast can do. It's just in just a little bit less performance. As you can see, I have it in fully automated mode, and it's going to wait until this guy comes past me, and I am not turning the wheel, and it will get over into this other lane. It's been an interesting experience driving with this. I like the yoke. It took me a second, or this square wheel, it took me a second to get used to, but honestly, it's been pretty solid. Really wants me to get into this lane here. I'm just gonna let it take. I'm just gonna go where the wind takes me, I guess. But guys, it's kind of my review and my thoughts on the Cybertruck. It's been an interesting experience. This isn't my realm, obviously. Like I very much prefer an internal combustion engine. I prefer Volkswagen Audi group. I prefer American muscle. For like, if I was to spend my hard-earned money on something, that's what I would spend it on. But I'm old-fashioned, and I'm willing to admit that. But if you need something to go from your house to work every day, look at a Model 3. Look at a Model Y. Look at a Rivian. If you've got the money. These Teslas, I mean, the Model 3 and the Model Y are base models are sitting at $30,000. That's very affordable. It's still a lot of money, but it's affordable. This, on the other hand, 80 grand, and looks like a dumpster, but it's still a lot of fun. I mean, I've had fun driving it and showing it to people. Overall, guys, I think I would give the Cybertruck, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Genuinely, and really with the only thing knocking 3 points off of it is what it looks like, this blind spot right here, and the windshield wiper being as big as it is. It just bothers me. I have no real reason of being mad at that, but it just bothers me. So, guys, that's going to do it for my review on the Cybertruck. If you have any questions, let me know. I can, I can definitely respond to you in the comments. I'll end with a quote that I saw the other day. It said that a young man approached a sage and asked the sage, "What is stopping me from achieving my goals?" And the sage answered and said, "The fact that you think there's something stopping you." And I love that. So, all right, guys, ending off on a little positive note there. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later.